Hello, folks. Welcome to the Pro Tip Podcast, where you hear from real pros telling real stories and sharing pro tips that drove their success. My name is Jason Yocom, and I'm your host. And we have a great show today out here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania, on location at Swartz Farm, sitting here with Dennis Swartz. How you doing, Dennis?
Good.
Awesome. Appreciate you being on our show today.
Yeah, thank you for having us today.
Awesome. We're really excited. Folks, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe to our channel and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at the Pro Tip Podcast. And feel free to email us at ask@protippodcast.com. If you have any questions or want to connect with our pros or any suggestions, feel free to email. Or if you are a pro and you'd like to be on our show, go ahead and send us an email. We'd love to talk to you. So, all right, sir, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Beautiful farm here and Mohnton, beautiful area. So just a little background on how I connected with you was when I met my wife. She said, we need to go get eggs. and she brought me out here one time and we bought some awesome eggs from you guys. And I know you have your little store out here with a bunch of goodies in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen you a couple times when we would come in and out, but didn't really get a chance to know you. So this is a great opportunity. Absolutely. So ready to dive in, bud?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That sounds good.
Why don't you take a minute and tell everybody a little bit about your background? I mean, you've been doing this your whole life and multiple generations, so go ahead.
Yeah. So I would be the fourth generation farmer. My great-grandparents bought the property first. They did a lot of more traditional farming. And then I've always grown up on the property. So it's my grandparents had it for a while, and then my parents and my sister and I grew up on the hills. So we got to really enjoy the property our whole life, and then just saw bits and pieces of it transform over the years.
Yeah, that is cool. And your dad's still here. He's out working the field right now as we're talking. And
yeah. So he's really active yet. This has definitely been like a really cool experience for him to see it come back to life.
Yeah.
I mean, we kid all the time that my grandfather, like when they passed, we were just starting to bring the farm back. And like, I mean, this would be everything he'd want to do. So
awesome.
he would be out here and just kind of putzing around. And I mean, my dad gets to enjoy all this stuff, and he enjoys farming a lot. So it was really neat to see like his son get inspired by it, and then it was something he was passionate about in the early age too.
That's awesome. It's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Because you get to work with your dad, and your dad gets to work with his son, and you don't see that too much, but that's something special. And then you're raising kids of your own, right?
Yeah. So my wife and I actually do this full time now. And then we have a daughter who's 4 years old. So it's really neat that she gets to have both. Our parents don't work like a traditional 8 to 5, but we're here like bits and pieces, and she gets to spend more time with us than if we were at like a regular job 8 to 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, it has to be. I mean, there's a lot of work here, right?
Yeah. So if we're not doing like mobile petting zoo, which usually each day we're off the property, like at either a nursing home, at a school. I mean, it's busy. So when we're not doing that, then it's trying to keep up with all the animals, keeping the pastures clean, the pens cleaned, and everything mowed. And there's definitely never a slow time on a farm. You're always doing something.
Yeah.
Except when you're sleeping.
Do you get enough of that, or?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, we get good sleep. We
go
to bed like if we're in our 80s, like 9:30.
Yeah. Hey.
But we start early.
I'm with you, bud. I'm ready to fall asleep after dinner, before dinner sometimes.
Yeah, likewise.
That is cool. So. You mentioned the mobile petting zoo. We're going to come back to that and all these cool things that they do. They've got some really neat stuff. So take me back. I mean, you grew up, you farming with your dad and your grandpa and stuff. like, do you have any do you have any cool stories or anything that, whether you really liked or you hated, or like anything you want to share from being a
Yeah.
kid on the farm?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, obviously being on the farm, there's different rules that you can do that you probably couldn't do if you're, we're not like if you were on the street and driving and whatnot. I remember when my grandparents they had, I think it was a 2001 Chevy truck.
Nice.
And I remember I might have been 10 or 12. And I remember like coming down asking for the keys to the truck because my dad had sent me down and said, "Can you bring the truck up?" And I remember they were like, "What? You're going to take the truck?" And of course, it's just driving through the garden up the lane. But I remember they were like real hesitant. They gave me
Yeah.
the keys, and my foot probably just reached the pedal,
That's
and then driving
great.
the truck up myself.
That's great. Learning to drive though, right?
Yeah.
Instead of going out. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been fun. And I remember, I mean, this goes back to my dad. I remember my grandparents used to say that he would always get in trouble when he was at my great grandparents' house because they would just let him do anything. So he was in like I think one of the water troughs just splashing and stuff. But actually, where we're filming this was where the original farmhouse sat.
Okay.
So my great grandparents' house was here, and then it was too old and they couldn't save anything. So
Yeah.
then they took it down, and then that's how the pole barn got built here.
Wow.
So I didn't even think of that when you picked the spot, but yeah, it's kind of a unique situation. Like we're sitting kind of in the original spot.
That is really cool.
So
No, I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah.
That's neat. So, and I know I asked you this a little earlier in our discussion, it's been your whole life and you've seen things change, but there's also some stuff maybe that hasn't changed. Like, can you unpack that a little bit? Like what are you guys still doing today the same way that you did back when you were a child, or even before? Or obviously with technology and equipment and stuff, I'm sure some stuff has changed as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, most of it, the hayfield's always been done the same. When you're saying technology, I remember we have in the barn we have like an old hay rake.
Nice.
So like to try to dry the hay, and that used to have to do it by hand. We have old things too that used to hook up to horses, like plows and
Yeah.
stuff. So, I mean, all of that was how my great grandparents originally started farming.
Yeah.
And then once we got tractors, I mean, that kind of all changed things. We actually have one of our first tractors, an Earthmaster. It's not in this room, but that was their first tractor, I think, after World War One.
Wow.
And that was a whole new technology to them.
Yeah.
And then they had gotten a John Deere, and we still have that to this day and still use it. And I mean, the technology has advanced a lot. I mean, now you're even farming in tractors that have AC and heat. So yeah,
That's got to be nice.
yeah. So I mean, it's been really neat to see, like, especially seeing some of the old stuff in the barn and how it's now switched to a lot more tractor wise, and even corn planting. My grandparents, and when we grew up, we used to plant the corn by hand. So it would take us hours, and then finally we broke down and got a corn planter, and just seeing how that, I mean, you can do that in 2 minutes versus how long it would take us to do it. So I mean, the gardens have always been the same throughout the years. We kind of stick to the same tradition where we always do like sunflowers down towards the road because people always like that, and then we always do like the corn and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Sunflowers by the road, get their attention. That's really cool.
yeah.
That's neat. That's neat. And you say you still have that tractor, that old?
Yeah, we have both of them.
Really?
So the Earthmaster is actually getting fixed up now.
Okay.
We're trying to get it that we can just even not really use it for work, but just pull it out for something like this, or
Like
for
a display,
Fall
yeah.
Fest.
So when it's done and we get some some pictures of it, and we'll link some pictures on his episode in the comments.
No,
It'd be kind of cool for people to see.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's neat. So that's great. Now, like, we came here. My wife is, she has a nursing background. She's very healthy, clean eater. Likes to eat real clean, and maybe not me as much, but you know, that's what that attracted her to your farm.
Okay.
You know, that she could come and get eggs from chickens that were literally out just eating bugs and doing what chickens do. And, you know, so you guys kind of practice that whole, you know,
Yeah.
maybe not as many chemicals, or is
Yeah,
that
between that and like pasture rotation.
okay?
So when we first had chickens, we basically had them in our backyard, and then as we like how you were saying with your wife, when we got feedback from customers, they were like, "Oh, we really expected them to be out free ranging." So we ended up fencing in more pasture, and then getting like a mobile chicken wagon.
Nice.
So what that does is just how your wife was saying, like each day we can move it to a new spot of grass.
Okay.
And basically they're on the fields that aren't sprayed. There's no chemicals nearby. But like she said, you they'll eat the bugs, they'll scratch everything. We'll actually rotate them behind the cattle. Because what cows leave is they leave that nasty little cow poop. And chickens will scratch it up into fertilizer, which helps then produce richer soil and everything.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
it's definitely been a learning process, but it's definitely been neat to see customers come to the shop and know that the chickens are out free ranging and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's huge. And the proof's in the
Oh yeah,
they taste
that
amazing.
yolk. Yeah.
There's a difference, folks. Major difference in you know, buying eggs at Walmart and compared to a good egg.
Oh yeah.
So hands down. So this always amazes me. Like, do you like what would you say to like a younger, you know, younger generation of kids maybe trying to get into agriculture or farming? I mean, to me it only seems like it's a family thing. Like you don't really see
Yeah.
too many getting into it unless their parents did it and their parents did it, or you know, is there any advice you could give someone that would want to?
Get into it. Yeah, I would say. I mean, the biggest thing is obviously land is very expensive.
That's good
So
point.
that's kind of a tough part to get into it, but there's a lot of options out there where like farmers will rent out their properties
Okay.
to future farmers that want to get into it. So that's a good segue also to kind of
That's
not
great.
actually like pay for the property, but kind of do like a lease or something
Yeah,
and see what kind of works for you.
that's cool.
Um,
Farmers will do that. I mean, it helps them too, right?
oh
So
yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean when I was looking into it, I mean was just looking at chickens.
Yeah.
Had first got chickens and someone, I think it was an elderly, she might have been Mennonite, but I remember we're looking for a chicken coop and she's like, "Why do you want to get into chickens?" She said, "You'll never make any money farming." And to us, I mean, for me, it was never about like trying to get the money. It was more
Yeah.
so like a passion,
Yeah.
which obviously then kind of led into like a business path and whatnot. And I think even just that statement, I look back on that day and see like someone telling you like you'll never make money doing this, and just using that as kind of like a coast to figure out ways how can you make money, like
Success is revenge,
yeah. So
right? That's
I
cool.
mean that point I always kind of, I mean I was 16 at the time, so I mean 16 and then being told that and then just kind of using that as motivation
Motivation.
and stuff.
That's, you know, it's wild because everybody, you know, everybody I talk to that's successful, like, you know, or books are read, you know, of successful people, they all seem to have that person.
For yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember Steve Harvey, you know, the Family Feud guy, you know, his teacher literally told him to rewrite, they had to write down their passion. What do they want to do when they were little kids? And she didn't accept it and said he needs to rewrite it because he said, I want to be on TV and make people laugh. And look at him today. He has, I think he's on 3 different shows every single day.
Yeah.
And do you know he bought that teacher a large screen TV and had it delivered to her house?
Oh wow.
So,
That's pretty special.
but that's, you know, I don't know. Words are powerful
Yeah, no, I agree.
and they can build you up, tear you down. But so that negative motivation, buddy, that's awesome. I'm glad you shared that. So what kind of farming would you classify? I mean, there's several different styles of farming, right?
Yeah.
What would you classify you guys at? And do you want to hit on maybe the other forms?
Yeah, so I mean, our main thing is like it's called regenerative farming, and that's a lot of the practices we follow, with not spraying anything, rotating the animals, and then our biggest thing now is we've switched more towards ag tourism, which is getting people out to the farm to see kind of what you have your operation going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, when we started that, I remember it might have been just when I met my wife. I said to her, I said, "Hey, come over." I said, "I have a school tour coming in to see." I think we just had chickens in the barn. And she's like, "Oh, they're coming to see chickens." And I remember it was a big school bus parked behind the barn. And at that point, our barn, I don't even think had lights or anything. And all we had on the farm was just chicks. And all these, I think it was probably 40 school kids just came to see these chicks, which
Probably had the best day of their life. Yeah.
they were really into it and everything. But we've just looked back on that date to see how much we've grown now.
Cool.
Besides, like, I mean, we offered just the chicks in the barn to now taking them around like a whole 45-acre farm
Yeah.
and seeing pretty much every animal mini version you can think of,
That's
which
wild.
is crazy.
Yeah. We're almost to that point in the show too. I want to dive into some of that stuff,
Awesome.
but that's great. So pro tip podcast, right? You got to have some pro tips. I got to ask you because, you know, so many homeowners have gardens at their home. Do you have any advice? Like, how do you keep the daggone critters out?
Yeah.
I mean, we got deer coming in, we got the rabbits, you got the ground. Like, is there a good way other than 12 gauge or traps or anything like that?
I mean, I would say your biggest thing is putting like obviously like a fence perimeter around your garden. That'll kind of protect it a little bit. The other thing, you can put some type of like flashing lights sometimes at night.
Okay.
So if any like animal tries to get in and it like flicks a red light or a bright light, it sometimes will scare them and stuff away.
So they have those censored little lights you can get.
And
Pretty
you can
cool.
even get, I think there's something my dad uses, which is called like a deer away. And it's some type of just like the smell of a deer that you put around. And that kind of like keeps the deer off of the garden and stuff.
Okay. Huh. You would think you would almost think it would attract them, right? No, if it smells like another deer. Or...
I mean, there's always something that's going to try to get. I mean, we have raccoons. One year we had a lot of raccoons try to come down. And it's always right when the corn's ready to harvest. You'll see these little like raccoons in there. And,
Oh my gosh.
and then you'll try to chase them out. I mean, I remember some nights we would stay up late and go in with a flashlight to try to spook them out. But yeah.
I'm sure you get some critters here around here, right? Like,
Yeah.
That is cool. Good stuff. So let's switch gears here now. Your events that you have. Some pretty funny stuff, I have to admit. Like baby goat yoga. When I saw that, I was like, what in the world? So can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. So baby goat yoga is one of the first things we actually started here.
Okay.
Which kind of shifted us into ag tourism. We were probably, I think, one of the first farms in Berks County to even like introduce the idea. When we first started, we actually did the first class in this pole barn.
Okay.
With the door open. And I just remember posting that on Facebook, and like the comments, or people were going crazy over it just because they thought it was the coolest new idea. And I mean, we simply just got goats because we wanted to have them as pets. And then it kind of was like, okay, well, people will come out and do goat yoga with them. And then we found a certified instructor that year, and we this year actually marks 6 years that we've been doing it.
That's amazing.
Which is crazy. So each year, I mean, we'll run it through the summer, and then each class fills up, and we've worked.
I'm still puzzled. Like I have to go and watch one of the. I didn't see those videos. But
Okay. Yeah.
So you got a class, multiple goats, and multiple people, and you're.
Someone's teaching a class trying to. I mean, The biggest thing is people just want to come out and be in nature
Yeah.
and snuggle the goats.
That's great.
But there's
Baby goats are adorable, especially the real little ones that are bouncing around and stuff
yeah.
like that.
I mean, we've had some classes where people are strict, like they want to do yoga,
Okay.
and then you have some classes where it's very laid back.
Yeah.
But either way, it's just a laid back thing.
Baby goat yoga. That is awesome. Awesome. So, and then you have the animal cuddles.
Yeah, so we have the mini Highland cows, we have the baby goats, all of that stuff. People can come out and sit in the stall and cuddle the goats. They can cuddle the cows. It's mainly just getting people out around the animals, and
That's
it's it's very. I mean, it's therapy, a form of therapy.
yeah.
So people like come from hard times, or we've had people come out that have had cancer or different things like that, and just spending time out in nature with the animals and
Yeah.
just kind of forgetting all that stuff. It's really peaceful.
My wife wants to do it.
So no,
She wants to come out and cuddle with some animals.
and we're actually expecting our first baby Highland cow born pretty much any day now. So that'll
Nice.
be really neat to see, and I'm sure people want to come snuggle it.
Yeah. Come snuggle with the cow. That is cool. And then you have the mobile petting zoo. So, okay,
Yeah,
people
so
can.
the petting zoo we've probably had now three. I think this is our third or fourth year doing this. But I mean, we'll take the baby goats out to nursing homes. We'll take the cows out to nursing homes. But yeah, we
What
do
a great idea.
anywhere from nursing homes to schools, daycares, and military bases. We were just at one,
Really?
and yeah, we've done concerts before. It's been really neat.
That is wild.
So I mean, something that we originally had started, we thought would be once a month. I mean, pretty much is what helped transform us into a full-time business. Because I mean, it's every day going somewhere or people coming
Yeah.
here to see the animals.
You went to a military base
Yep.
for the mobile petting zoo.
Yep, we had to get the truck searched and everything.
That's funny.
But
That's
I mean, some
What a
of the
great
requests we get through emails, I mean, some of them you just never expect them, and
Yeah.
it's really neat to see the places we've been to. And I know even this year we're heading up to Bloomsburg for an event, so we're all over the place.
That is wonderful. Folks, it gets better yet. I mean, you can cuddle with an animal, you can do goat yoga, but then you can also have one come to your wedding
Yep.
and walk down the aisle. Is that correct?
Yep. So a lot of times we'll take the biggest popularity right now is the mini Highland cows. So people will bring them out during cocktail hour. And when there's not much going on, then people will come up and get pictures with the cows. We'll put flowers on them.
I saw some of the pictures on your website.
I mean, we've had probably like 15 to 20 weddings.
That is crazy.
And that's even the last 2 years, just between like all bookings. And this year, I mean, even we've probably done 6 already this year.
Really?
We're excited too because we're gonna try. They're called burrito baskets. So you put kind of how a donkey would carry like different things around.
Yeah.
People will put these sacks on the mini Highland cows, and then they'll pass out like favors or water bottles.
That's funny.
So we have those coming in, and we're excited to try that venture out.
That is wild. Oh my goodness, that is great. And then how about I wanted to ask you, whose idea was that?
I think it was my wife. She had saw something and thought
Wedding moose, right? That's what it's called? Wedding moose.
Yeah, she thought it'd be cool to take them out, and I mean, people have really been into it.
That is cool. So how many animals do you have? Like what is your full scope of animals?
Total, I couldn't even tell you how many.
Okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of everything. So I know roughly we probably have 15 to 20 goats right now on the farm. We have 4 sheep. We have 2 alpacas. And then we have the mini Highland cows. We're up to 10 of those.
Okay.
So those have been kind of between them and the goats our main focus of establishing the herd and now kind of growing the herd now.
Yeah.
getting through like even the first ones now getting pregnant is really exciting
Yeah.
because our bull is actually like over a year and a half, and it's really nice to know now that he's able to do it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, between that and then of course we have the egg laying chickens. So we have roughly around 200 right now on the farm.
Nice.
And then I did forget we have two mini horses and a mini donkey.
A mini donkey, huh?
So
I have to
it's
see that.
kind of a little bit of everything
Okay.
and stuff.
So, what about your rent a chick program? You still
Yes. So when my wife and I actually were running a farmhouse, which was my great grandparents on my dad's side, that was another farm we got to kind of live in for a little bit.
Yeah.
We both had college degrees. We were sitting at home one day and we're like, we had just met. We probably were living together like a couple months, and we said, how are we going to do this? Because you had rent that was, I mean, over $1,000.
Yeah.
And both of us had college degree jobs, but like, I mean, it was tight. So we had just sat and we just kind of saw one thing one day and we were like, rent a chick, we could do that. And I remember the next night we actually went, got all the supplies, made the kits, and then I mean the first group went out to I think Governor Mifflin. We messaged one of my old teachers, and I posted to him and I said, would you guys be interested? And he's like, yeah, we'd love to. And I mean, now that, I mean, that has to be probably almost 9, 10 years that we've been doing that.
No kidding. So you take a few of them over, and they just
Yeah.
for people to
Yeah,
pet.
so
and-
each kit it comes with everything they need to take care of them, and then it has 2 chicks that they take home. So we do it for mainly schools, but we have like right now we have units out just to local families. Because the big thing now is like there's so many ordinances, so like a lot of
Okay.
families can't have chickens.
Okay.
So the program
Isn't
really
that crazy?
Yeah.
Come on.
The program's really unique because it allows them to kind of experience growing, like holding little chicks,
Yeah.
and just at your family setting, versus just out in like a festival or something.
Yeah.
And it definitely gives those type of kids that may never even like experience that little chance at raising something, seeing how just in 2 weeks the chick goes from this cute little peep to
Yeah.
then now they start having feathers, and at the end of the 2 weeks, they bring them back, and then we'll raise them out with the rest of our egg layers. So it's really been neat. We've had a lot of schools locally do it. We've had nursing homes do it just because it's something for them to look at.
Oh yeah.
I think we even had a class from New Jersey do it this year, and the lady drove all the way from New Jersey to pick them up.
That's great.
So it's really neat.
How long will you rent them out for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So, and then we pretty much before we send the chicks off, we make sure they're healthy, do a good start, and then also like we have pretty strict instructions to make sure that they're handled
Yeah.
properly and everything.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you don't want any of those stories.
So I mean that.
Hey, your chick's not moving around too good here. I
Yeah.
don't want to make that phone call.
A lot of times people like if there is anything like that, they'll call us, and like either if they can't get the chick to us, we'll go pick it up, and then
Yeah.
we kind of know how to kind of revive different things more than just a typical person would
Yeah.
and stuff. But
That
yeah,
is wild.
it's been neat.
That is great. Man, this is a lot of great stuff here. I just love the history of this farm and, and the legacy that, with your family. It's really cool. Really cool to hear this stuff.
No, I appreciate it.
But as we wind down, do you have anything you'd like to share with people? I mean, I definitely want to talk about, how they get in touch with you, what, because you got all these things people can do. But if you have anything, one last thought before we do some shout outs.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the biggest thing throughout the next couple of years that we're trying to do more is kind of get back to the community. So if there's different classes that we might try to run throughout the year. I know one we tried to run recently, but just schedules got crazy. But we're really trying to help teach like either how to take care of, like say if someone wants to get into mini cows, get into chickens, kind of coast, give like a learning curve to get them into it, and give some tips that we've learned over the years.
It's a great idea.
So it's something I'm looking forward to. Obviously, I'm not a teacher. I've never done teaching, but it also like as different things that like obviously probably you found out too in your careers. To us, it's just second nature now, but to someone else, I mean, it's like third language. They don't understand like.
Yeah.
So it's really neat to kind of give back and teach them those little different things.
Yeah.
So
That's neat. Awesome. Thank you for that. Do you have any shout outs? Anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to?
I mean, I would just like to obviously shout out to our customers. I mean, they've been supportive ever since we opened this. People coming out for eggs just when we had a couple dozen to now like filling the fridge and seeing them empty out each day is really special. And then the other big part is our volunteers. So like when we go out to the petting zoos, we have a lot of volunteers come out and donate their time to help us make sure that the animals are handled right, and then just making sure everything runs smooth, and
Yeah.
that means a lot to us too.
Yeah. So, man, that's a cool thing. I mean, for like a high school kid or
Oh,
middle
yeah.
school or whatever. But so they would what? Just reach out to you if they want to be a volunteer sometime, just to kind of
Yeah,
get their
so
hands a little dirty and try.
yeah, if they send us an email, our big thing now is we'll send out emails usually probably bi-weekly, almost monthly.
Yeah.
And it's just listing a whole bunch of events we're doing throughout the year, and then they can sign up and help us out. And again, it's something really neat because if they don't have the ability to see cows,
Yeah.
or it gives them that kind of loophole to get into it.
Yeah. And then I know you guys do a couple things. You network with Weaver's Orchard as well. You do some events there.
Yeah.
I've been to Weaver's Orchard many times. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so the really cool thing with Weavers is my grandmother and her parents actually had worked for Weavers when Ed Weaver's the owner now, but when his parents had the market in Shillington Market, they all kind of worked together. So
Nice.
Ed, I mean, he had brought that up to us that he thinks it's really special that like a small world now, it's kind of coming back to help each other again.
That is cool.
So, I mean, we've done a Highland Fest with them each year now. This summer, we just did the second one, and the turnout's been crazy for it. I mean, the first year we did it, we had over 15,000 people interested on Facebook. So we sold out like immediately. This year we sold out pretty close to selling out, but it was a rainy day. But we still had people come out in ponchos,
Yeah.
and it's been really neat to work with them too because they're local, and we took 6 to 7 cows down there this year, and then can
Nice.
kind of set up, and works out really nice because people get to see the animals, but then also go support the market too.
Yeah. Oh, they got
So-
some good stuff in that market too.
Yeah.
A lot of sugar for me. No, that's great. It's all about the community, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. So how would somebody get in touch with you? What's your channels of communication?
Yeah, so we have pretty much everything. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But the easiest way is any of those would work. But sending an email to swartzfarmpa@gmail.com. That's usually the easiest way to get in touch with us.
And set up an appointment because
Yep.
you're appointment only, right? To
Yep.
come through and
Yep, so we kind of do that. So it gives us time to kind of do different chores, but then we can tell too when people are going to come and give them a good private experience and stuff.
that is really cool. Very awesome. Good stuff. Folks, Swartz Farm, Dennis Swartz. Here's the place. You know where to go now. So thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I've
no
really
problem.
enjoyed it. I'm
No,
glad
likewise.
glad we were finally able to connect. So ladies and gentlemen, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. And don't forget Swartz Farms, Dennis Swartz on the Pro Tip Podcast. Have a great evening and God bless.